Hi everybody, it's Louisa here, and I have a project share for you. This is actually for a swap with Kim, who is AngelDreamCrafts, and we had talked. I had asked her not that long ago if she wanted to do another swap. It's been like a really long time since the last swap that we did, so she agreed, and we decided upon a steampunk mini, which I think for both of us kind of turned out a little bit gothic steampunk. I don't know. I haven't seen what she's created me, but she mentioned something about gothic. So anyway, mine kind of, went on that side as well. But um my main paper collection for the entire mini was this one right here. I wanted to use some brighter colors, and I don't have too much steampunk paper, so I chose this one here that I had in my stash, which is Steampunk Botanical from Recollections. And I love the bright colors of the reds, the golds, and I even like, like the browns in here and stuff. So I went with those colors, and I went with the designs in here. But this pad has like spider webs and some skulls, so I'll show you how I kind of hid them. I didn't want it to look Halloween-ish. So anyway, this was the main pad that I used for a lot of the papers. And I did do some fussy cutting on some of the sheets here, which, I did cut out some butterflies and stuff. And there is a couple of sheets with actual images that you can cut out, so I did use that. As you can see, there's some skeletons in here, and there's skulls in here, so they got covered up. So anyway, that was like the main theme of my album. And then I added in a few sheets, or one sheet out of here. I used this one actually. It's just like a flourish looking paper, and then I think I used something else, I don't remember. But anyway, this is from Tattered Time Stack DCWV. I used some of that. I also used for some of my mats. I did create some mats. I used a couple of sheets out of this DCWB pack, the Textures and Finishes stack, and I used these two here that were in there. So pretty simple, not too much stuff going on. And I also used from here, Printery Collection, some of the sheets. Some of the ones with like lines and stuff I use out of there because the colors just matched. And then I did use a couple of cards out of this pad here from We Are Memory Keepers. They're just all black and white, so no color. It went well. And then I also use a couple of sheets out of this Making Memories Noteworthy Spiral Notebook. I just pulled out a couple out of here as well, like this one here. And there was another one in here, let's see. And this one here because it had the red. So this is a great place for journaling. So I just ripped it right out, inked the edges, and threw it in there. And I also used, I think, one piece out of here. K & Company. Engraved Garden. I was trying to use a lot of stuff that I hadn't used or have never used. Like all these pads, I haven't used for a while. So that's that, and lots of metals and some chipboard and a little bit of trim, embossing powder, metal paint, and I'll show you those as I go if I can remember. I have some things out, but the majority of my stash has been put away. So for my ink, I did use Distress Ink Black Soot, my little dauber. I didn't distress with the distress tool. I did use some stamps, which I've already put away. Dang it, I forgot about those. I put away my stamps. Let me see. Yeah, they are gone. They are put away. I mean, away. I did use some stamps, though. Anyway, and my Stays On ink. I also used this distress powder that I picked up at Tuesday morning. And, okay. And the name of it is Broken China. Broken China. I really like that. Actually, looks like not metal. I can't think of the name of what it looks like. You know, when metal's kind of rusty in different colors. And I also use from the Frontage set that I had bought this color here. Okay, never mind. It's called H Silver. And I use this paint on one of the pieces, the chipboard pieces from Gina's Designs, and this is Gunmetal Gray Folk Art Paint. I only used this on one piece. Oh my gosh, it doesn't want to. On the edges of my mini, this is what I use to finish it, to finish off the chipboard. I use some of the Tim Holtz tape, one of these, and what else? I use a lot more stuff. It's just I don't have it all now. Metals. I used a chipboard wing that Bitty Bomb Bomb Elizabeth has sent me, and I actually got the die now, so I also punched out some paper and covered these. So, and I also used some magnets. Can't wait to show you those because this is the first time that I used it and it worked. These are the magnets I picked up at Tuesday morning a while ago. Now they don't have any, so I did pick up a couple packages of these, but small magnets. They are strong enough for what I used it. I tried using it somewhere else and it didn't work out, but now it did. What else did I use? Some bling from Natasha's Scrapbook Corner, and then, well, you'll see the rest. So here is my extremely thick, look at my hand right here. I mean, I'm really stretching mini, and see, here's the spine. You've seen the pictures already ahead of time. Yeah, here's the front, and you can lay it down if you'd like, but you know, it is pretty thick. So I started off deciding on what size I wanted to make it. It came out bigger only because the size that was in my mind was the paper inside, or the pages inside, and then I had to make the covers bigger, so it actually came out bigger than that. I wanted a 6x6, so the pages inside are 6x6, but the outside is 7 by, I think, either 6.5. I think it was 6.5. So yeah. Because as I create every mini that I create, I learn something new. I'm not one to actually follow a tutorial from the beginning to the end, especially when they break out numbers, because I do not like measuring. The only thing I've measured was the hidden hinges. That's the only thing that I measured, and I actually just used the scoring board for that, so it's not like I had to do any math or anything or break out a ruler. But yeah, so I did measure the inside correctly, and then realized my outside had to be a little bigger so that the whatever may or may not stick out wouldn't stick out outside of the actual covers on the top and the bottom. And you see there's a little ledge down there too, so you can actually flip through this while it's standing up, and it's not going to hit the floor. The pages are just going to slide back and forth really nice. So yeah, I was really happy about that. At least, I mean, I wanted it a 6x6. It came out bigger, but that's okay. And the bigger it is, the more space and the more image you're going to see on the paper that you're going to use, which I really love this one sheet right here that I used for the front. I did not want to cover that up in any way, so I just did this little arrangement here. And I knew I was going to add some flowers inside, so it didn't bother me that I didn't, overdo it with flowers. And then on the back is another one that I love with the orange butterfly. And I know she likes butterflies. I know she loves the monarch butterfly. So, and then this is just my little hand-created sticker that I add to my stuff. So let me go back to the front. This is going to be difficult. It is huge. It's heavy. Alright, maybe if I lay it down, will that be any better? Sort of. Zoom in. Hold on. Okay, so while it's laying down. So this is the sheet from the paper, and you see I did cut it a little smaller than my covers, just to expose a little bit of that washi tape. I just wanted you to see layers of stuff without actually putting layers of paper. And then the only thing that I did distress with this distress tool was the outside covers. So anyway, what I did here was I cut out the, did I not leave that out either? Oh my gosh. Okay, so the Tim Holtz Gears dies, that one set with the big dies, I punched those out on from chipboard, and also did the paper. This is the one from the Tattered Times collection, so I just adhered it. And then I went and did my embossing powders, and I started first with the blue and just embossed with some blue first and gave it a layer of that, and then I added a little bit of the aged silver over that so that you would see more blue underneath, and that gave it that metal look, kind of like rusted metal. So I used the 3 gears that are in that die set. And then I added this knob, which is I think also Tim Holtz, and the set was given to me by Karen. And I pretty much did the same thing to that. The whole thing I embossed with the china, blue china, oh no, broken china, sorry. And then did a little bit of the aged silver over that. And then I added this metal piece that says life is about creating yourself with a couple of halfback pearls. And then on the side, and this is on the back and the front, I added this pretty double layered trim that's got the blue and the white lace. Somebody gave me some of that, and I only have like a piece this big left, so I used that. And someone gave me this brown trim too, and I used that to cover the blue lace. And I didn't go all the way around just in case. I didn't want nothing to hinder the opening and closing of the flaps. So I did layer this the brown trim that has sequins on it. Really love that. And then, of course, that's on both sides again. Let's see here. That's on both sides, this trim and this. Then what I did is I took the black floret trim, or what's it called, bloomer trim that I have, and it wasn't wide enough to cover, and it was too big to do two side by side and one in the center. So what I did was I took, it's 3 flowers on the that rosette trim. I took a strip of 3, cut it in half, glued one half on this side and this side, scrunching it up a little bit because it was a little too long. And then I took a whole 3 of them and put it in the center so it covered the entire thing. And then in the center, I layered some gears on each one of these with a light blue bling from Natasha Scrapbook Corner. On the top here, I had punched a little hole where I added a I think it's a 7 Gypsies little clip thingy, which I attached this, and you could take this off if you wanted to. It will actually undo and come out. It's got a big loop on there. And what I did was I took a industrial chic charm, which is this piece here, and another industrial chic charm, which is this one. This one I actually took apart. It was longer, like something like this, and made it shorter by just attaching it there. And it comes with metal. It came with these little fibers and these things. It came with everything you see here. A little jar with some brown glitter. It actually says industrial chic on there. So this is very soft metal, so I just wrapped it around the loop so it created another little dangle, and then attached the two together, and then added this, which is a spare parts alpha metal charm. So I put her initial, K, and then this little piece here, which is another industrial chic. I think it's like a really, really dark brown, almost black colored gem dangle thing. So it hangs there, and again, she could remove it. She could add something else to this clip if she wanted to. So then on the side here, for my closure, I had to have a closure on this thing or it was gonna blow. I decided to use some of the Hobby Lobby chain that comes on a spool. And I did 3 layers of it, and I hung it. I made a hole through the chipboard, hung a very large ring here, but first I had put a little gear to reinforce the hole, and put the ring, added 3 chains in 3 lengths so that it would, you know, hang like that. Added another industrial chic piece. This piece actually, no, it didn't come off of anything. It might have fallen off of something, I don't know, but it's like a little compass. So it's hanging from the loop and the chain here. And then I add another one of those clips, and all you do is unclip it, and you could just clip it back here while you're flipping through your pages. And okay, here we go. Let me open the window a little more. I don't know if this is gonna work out, but I'm going to do, let me get this out of the way, a quick flip through first. So if you get tired and bored of watching every single thing here, it's got 5 pages inside and then the front and back cover. So Just going to flip it real quick. Okay, maybe I should have laid it down. And it lays pretty good. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in here, so it's not going to lay completely flat. One more time. Alright, so starting from this side here, here you'll see the trim that is peeking out on the other side. Whoops. And I had picked this up a while back. I don't know from where, but it is a double trim. It's got the black organza and a brown, like a chocolate brown ribbon trim. I guess I should zoom in a little bit. Okay. And then I just finished it off with this dark gold Chinese braid trim, and you'll see these two trims on the back side as well. I put a AngelDreamCrafts metal piece, a metal filigree here with a little bling, and here is one of the cutouts out of that paper collection, and I stamped on it memories, and then I created like a pocket here with a piece of lace and this piece, so that creates a pocket. And then there's just some metal, some gears, a little mini domino from oh, I just keep going blank, spare parts. And a little piece here that someone gave me. I don't know if it's a applique. It's kind of like a little applique, sort of. And then inside here, I punched out this tag with one of the Tim Holtz dies and the paper from the same collection. Actually, from the other collection, not from this one. I just inked the edges on the back and the front and stapled on some blue seam binding and just a little bit of a scrunch there, not too much. And then this is from the paper collection, and I cut it out. And I did just so everything, and even some of the cards here. So these are like journaling spots. You can always throw a picture on here if you like, whatever you want. Now you'll see a little bit of these ephemera pieces. These are from 7 Gypsies. So I just inked the edges. It's just a little something extra. On this side, this is where we begin. This was the first one that I created, and I overdid it on the flaps and magnets. So it had like, it was kind of really heavy already before I added anything on it on this one side because of the way I created this, but that's okay. So each page has an insert, and it's a little snug, but there's where I made my photo mats or journaling spots, and here are the stamps that I use, which again I put away the stamps. Sorry, everything got inked. And this is also a Tim Holtz die, and then this is a Tim Holtz stamp. I remember that much. So if I can get this back in here, oh, I'm not gonna bother. All right, so now on this side, this is gonna be a super long video. There's an assortment of Wild Orchid Craft flowers like this one here, and Michael's Flowers, Wild Orchid Craft, and from my stash. And I did want to bring in blue into this because it is, I think turquoise is one of her favorite colors, and it actually goes well in here. So this is another industrial chic, or possibly Art I Make, I can't remember, piece. It's a heavy metal piece that says Dream, going with the Angel Dreams theme of her YouTube name. And here's just some, I love this gold trim. This is something that I have in my stash, and this trim here is actually a flat, like a seafoam green lace that I had picked up from, I think I had purchased this from Tina a while back. One of the girls from my old group was selling some trims. And let's see, I ruffled that myself on there. So here's how it works. You open this up, and this is magnetic. It does have a magnet here and here. And you can add photos in here. There's a little Michael's paper clip holding a couple of tags from 7 Gypsies. Whoops. Yep. And then you can also go like this and open it all the way out, revealing the rest where you can add more tags or photos. You could use a paper clip or just adhere it down. On this side, this is just a loose piece of a cutout. I forgot where this is from. Oh gosh, I don't remember. But you know, you could use it to add a photo, and it's being held by the paper clip that's on the front. So here you'll see I gessoed everything, right? And there's places where it's kind of gessoed in the center, and some places that are thicker. Well, behind here, and you kind of get a faint look. That's where some of the skulls are. So, but you really can't tell. So anyway, there's a magnet here as well that goes to there. So that actually is magnetized, and then there. So this is not going to open and close while you flip your pages. So now we go to the next page. And on this side is the same thing with that flipping. That's why it was a little too heavy. You see how thick it is? I should have just done something different there. So here there's that wing that I mentioned and that I papered with the same paper from back here. And I did the same technique with the distress embossing powder, the broken china first, and then some of the aged silver. I always forget things. And then I just added a couple of half doilies here and another metal piece that says possibility begins with imagination. I don't know if this is gonna work. Yeah, it's not gonna work, but that's what it says. And then some more halfback pearls there. And then here, this opens this way. Some journaling if you'd like. And then another ephemera piece from Seven Gypsies and another little paper clip from Michaels. I love those little paper clips. Again, this time I put the magnet here, up here. I don't know why, but I decided to try it out there. And of course, there's magnets here too, so it stays closed in both spots. This is that sheet from that little notepad from this one here. You know, another place to journal, and then another ephemera from Seven Gypsies, and this is a wing butterfly clip. Let me see. I think it's Prima. Yeah, Prima from Fairy Rhyme. So I used a couple of those from that collection. And then we move on over to this side where I created a cluster of flowers, which I wish I didn't put it here because when you try to close it, it keeps this page from closing, you know, from going down further. I should have put the flowers up somewhere on this side. So, you know, you learn as you go. But that's okay. Here's another, let's see, right there. Butterbee Scraps Filigree, which is a square, and I cut in half and just, you know, put one up here, one down here and up here as corners. And this is Prima Bling that I separated and made a big flourish. You'll see the rest in a minute. Again, the flower collection, there's another metal piece that somebody had given to me. Assortment of flowers from my stash and from Michael's on this side. And another half doily here and little bits and pieces of doilies that I had like scraps up left over. Another cutout from the paper collection. And I created my own little mats. I don't have too many dies. I wanted to do more like a plain square maybe, but I don't have too many dies for that. And I just didn't have any more patience left to create any more mats. This was like the last thing that I did. So I just used some of the Spellbinders dies for this. One of the nestabilities. So, you know, I left it open back here so you could tuck those in. And you'll see the rest of the bling here. I can't remember what company that is from. I'm not sure. And then a Michael's key. So that goes back in here. And then another tag, and I'm showing you these because I've stamped different things on them. This one has a ruler stamp, and this is a smokestack. So then see how this doesn't go that much further down because of the flowers in the way. So I'm going to lift this up a little bit for you. So over here, this is from the other paper collection. So is this one here. Anyway, I created sort of a, not really a belly band, but like a slot to add some things. And this is the Tim Holtz tickets. And actually this one here actually came, I didn't even share that with you. I forgot about that. Came out of this journaling cards pad. And this is from the other one. So this is not spare parts, Hobby Lobby trim. That's, doesn't have a name, but this is a Hobby Lobby trim. And some more metal pieces. These someone gave me, and then these are Prima flowers, this one and this one. And then you'll see they cut out butterflies from the collection, and then a brown flower from my stash. And this goes back. Oops. Hold on. That goes back in here, and then we go to this side. Again, the Prima flower, some more gears, some wooden gears. I think Kim gave me these a while back. The cutout butterfly, some trim that someone had given me a while back, some flat back. These are like flower trim here. Some more of the cards, and another tag that I had punched out and added some black seam binding. And this section here actually is part of this flap that is from that printery collection. And it does have a magnet over here so it stays closed. And then this insert, which is a little stuck, has like the other part of that stamp, and then another moth, and that comes from the same collection that this moth came from. I wish I had them out. I'm so sorry. So now we go to this side. Again, every time I flip this, I keep wishing that I didn't put this big old bunch of flowers down there, but that's okay. So over here, here is one of the pieces from the K & Company embellishments that I had showed you. I cut out the body and stuck these under. This is just like a vellum piece, and created a sort of a body out of this little flower cluster. These are the Wild Orchid Craft. These are from Tere. She sent me some black crocheted flowers, and then there's another one over here. So I used them, and then I added a little metal button with a black bling in the center. A couple of gears here and there, and some spinners from Tim Holtz. So now this one, I love this. This whole thing is like the whole yellow golden color. So we're gonna flip this open, which opens, let me see if I can remember. Opens like this, where you can add another photo or journaling, and then it opens like this to reveal the printery paper. And then over here I just have another one of those pages from that notepad, another cutout from the collection, and then another one of the Prima butterfly paper clips. So this has the magnets up here on this side, just one. And then over on this side, I just made a small little cluster using the cutouts from the paper collection, and it's the something phonograph, I think, butterfly. And then this also is a cutout. Some more Prima flourish here, a pen nib from Tim Holtz. Some more of the same flowers, a little Michael's Brad in the golden yellow color to match. And this flourish actually has little resin flowers, like a dark gray color. So in here I create a little pocket where you could throw in, there's some more ephemera pieces from Seven Gypsies. And I didn't do nothing but ink the backs because they're kind of yellowish color already, like a manila. And then I made this mat. And there's more of the, and I just cut up my flourishes to fill in. And here on this particular paper, there's spider webs. So I try to disguise them with gesso. And I don't know if you could see, there's a spider web on there. So every, you know, here and there, there's spider webs, and I just covered them up. That back in there. Alright, so then we go to, this might be my favorite because I love the way the red pops out on here on both pages. So let me pull out the card first, and you see that, and some gears. I think somebody sent me this stamp set, if I can remember. So here we have Gina's piece from Gina's Design. It's a chipboard, like a, it's a fancy frame, and I painted it with that metallic color and adhered it down to create a frame, and then in the center, and this comes off, it's just got a little dot of glue, so you don't have to use it, but I just put it there as an example of where you could put a photo. And I added, this is another piece from that K & Company pack, and it's kind of like a puffy red flower, and then I added this metal piece. I can't see what it says, live the life you've imagined, with a couple more flat back pearls, a metal clock here, and then I added these little bling pieces, and this is just an assortment of red flowers from my stash and wild orchid craft buds there. And then on this side, this is also from that same pack that comes from, and I put this metal piece that says follow your bliss, and some more of the flowers, same flowers, a Michael's key, a pen nib, an actual pen nib that somebody gave me, and I added a little black bling there. And then here I created another mat which you can remove, and it exposes the rest of the image here, so you can actually just take it out, and if you want to just leave it like that, you can. And it just goes right back in here somehow. Whew. Okay, so lastly, let me show you this. Some more of the gears stamped, and then some more moths. And I hope I didn't miss anything. I didn't miss any. No, okay. Over here, I put some more of that brown trim here, just on that corner. And inside I inserted another piece of this, and I actually cut this out. It had, you know, more paper here, so I just cut it out to create that, to show off the tab that it had. These are 7 Gypsies dividers, and these actually go on a little stand. It's like a storage piece for ATC's cards. But you know, you could use these for anything. And then there's another Prima butterfly clip. And this pocket here, okay, now here, there's going to be some areas. These are where skulls used to be. They're still there, just covered by some gesso. And then here, this opens up to reveal that from Prima. And here, this key, this piece here without the metal key, this floret with the black flourish, and that actually was given to me by Gina herself. She made those up, and when we got our cross promotion packages, they were in there. So thank you so much, Gina, if you're watching. I used them in this project at the end, and this one says happiness here. It's like perfect. I didn't have to do anything. I think the only thing I did was add that little bling. So on this side, again, this piece with the flourish, you know, she created that. And I just added another one of Terry's crocheted flower with a little button that I cut the shank off, a Tim Holtz buckle, a Butterbee Scraps butterfly, a couple of teeny tiny spare parts die for the body, and I created another mat, and it exposes the image here, which again, there's some places where there's skulls that got covered up, and the same trim that I had on the front. And that's it. That is a lot. My throat is dry. So again, this, I just like the idea of putting it up here so this doesn't get all tangled up, and then all you gotta do is clip it and it's done. And there we go. So there is my very large steampunk slash goth slash whatever mini for Kim. So hopefully she likes it as much as I do. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye now.